And we're live. And Zorro's still dancing. You can keep going if you want. No, you're muted because I muted both of you guys, so you'd shut up during the music. Go ahead.
I just love it.
Now, you know, Faz, that it automatically mutes everybody when a video plays, right?
Yeah.
Let's find out. All right. I heard that.
Yeah, it's one of those features that comes in handy. To shut people up, all you got to do is play the music.
There. Did I shut you up? Okay, every time I want you to stop talking, even if you're in the middle of something.
Jesus.
I
He's full of himself tonight.
I'm full of Faz, okay? I just Fazzed all over the place.
You know, I don't think anybody wants to hear that.
Agree.
All right. So, the thing I'd like to talk about today, which I'm sure could have its own cast, would be the SEC was grilled this week. Let me pull my notes up over here.
They've been getting grilled a lot lately, I've noticed. There's been a lot of clips on that. Gensler's been up on the Hill quite a bit. I think they're pushing hard as an election thing to get this right in the front. That's my guess.
So this is what gets me. So this was an SEC oversight meeting, hearing. So they basically, Congress is all pissed off. By the way, do we want this logo in the upper right-hand corner, or does this bother your shorts?
Nope, it's perfectly fine where it is.
All right. So Congress is getting pissed off at the SEC. They have an oversight hearing today, or not today, this week, of all 5 commissioners, including the top dog, Gary Gensler, to, scream at them yet again. They keep calling him up and they keep screaming at him, and he keeps doing nothing about it. And that's the thing. It's seeming like, okay, yay, Congress is calling them up. What's it really affecting? What's it really doing? Because Gary Gensler just says the same stuff every time. I'm sorry, I can't comment on this. He doesn't say shit to the people who he's supposed to oversee him.
So what now? We've never really gone into this. I read a little bit. I didn't read a ton, so I'm not going to claim to be an expert here. But why don't the other commissioners, like Hester and a few others, why aren't they stepping up and they talk a lot, but they don't step up and push the legislation like Gensler does? I understand he's the chairman. Does he really have that much power that everybody else is just kind of sitting there waiting on what he's going to do?
Well, he's the chairman. He sets the the policies. He sets the he sets the beat that they all march by. I don't know if I thought it basically that the SEC is a bunch of commissioners, all 5 of them, that vote on things.
That's what I thought. It was like the Supreme Court.
And I think there's like 2 that are for crypto and the other 3 are not. And Gary Gensler is one of them. And Gary Gensler gets to narrate everything too. Kind of like, well, he can spin anything that they say.
They will and they do. So you've talked about this a lot before. I've talked about it a little bit, about the vagueness that the SEC uses. And it's done both on purpose and not on purpose, which is really weird.
Yeah.
So they do it on purpose. Yeah, so they get wiggle room, right? And they don't do it on purpose because I truly think they don't know what they're doing either. They're trying to stuff crypto into the same box that they put stocks in, and it's a completely different thing for the most part. I think, all right, so if you have a tiered list, let's say, and you go down the tiers, kind of like the Howey prongs, right? So you have 4 prongs. And you first and foremost at the beginning of that list is there a CEO? And if there's a CEO, it should automatically drop right on in to the SEC's jurisdiction. A company with a president or a CEO or anything like that, it's centralized. Odds are extremely high it's going to end up being a security from what we've seen at least so far. You have a next tier. Okay, maybe it doesn't have a CEO, maybe it doesn't have a company. Is it regulated by is it run by independent people, or is there a board kind of like Solana, right? And then you're starting to get a little bit iffy. But if you were to make a list like that, that would make it exponentially easier to know immediately at launch where you're at on that scale. And it goes SEC on the top. If you hit all of them, to the less amount of those that you have, your CFTC. That could be pretty doggone easy to start classifying things right in there. The middle would be a little tough, but you can absolutely put like Bitcoin at the bottom and anything with a CEO right up at the top.
Gee, that would be smart if you were in charge of the SEC. And I have a feeling that anybody in charge of the SEC besides Gary Gensler would choose a different course. I think he's doing a 100% political job here. He's basically doing what the banks want. Remember, Elizabeth Warren is the head of the banking committee, and the banks have an outsized influence in the U.S. economy. You know, the Treasury works with them. They worked with the Treasury. They worked with, what's that other guy's name? The guy who prints up money, chairman of the Fed.
Oh, what is that? What the heck is that guy?
Mr. Money
I can see him in my head.
See his troll little head. Anyway, so I think it's all political because the old system is represented by the banks and the Treasury, and they don't know what to do about it. And they're afraid, the government seems to get afraid, in my opinion, when the people want to do things. I mean, once you create a bunch of bureaucracy supports itself. Bureaucracy is the reason for more bureaucracy. It's like, oh, well, we got such complicated stuff. We got to hire more people to keep track of the complicated stuff. And then we got to hire more people to keep track of those people. So it's never ending. Anyway, Bitcoin is a grassroots kind of thing. Crypto is a grassroots kind of thing. And they want to get their mitts all the way around it before they let it through.
I agree with you for most of it because the government can't solve problems. It's not designed to solve problems.
Hey, Gorlo, that sounds like Lycan.
Go ahead, Titan.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Titan. I'm listening to you, Titan. Go ahead.
So, the comment.
If they solve problems, they don't have a job. So they have to do things like the SEC is doing, where they have to create a bubble around something and try and start poking holes in that bubble to get it to pop. If they solved the problem and came out with crystal clear legislation that said, this means you're a security, this means you're not a security, they don't have a job because it'll be crystal clear. All of government kind of works like that. And when you have the CFTC or other regulatory bodies, some are public, some are private, some are government, should that be kicked back to the public realm and let public people and public boards and public board members maybe be elected to govern that stuff. It might be time for a lot of these appointments of people where Gensler was appointed, right? Nobody elected the guy. Who put him in there? Was it Biden or was it Trump?
Biden. See, okay,
Biden.
the thing is with a lot of these things like the SEC and other cabinet level departments, nobody is elected. I mean, nobody is. It's you elect the president, and then the president creates a cabinet themselves. So, no, you're not. It's what you're proposing is something a bit more complicated, because as if we're not electing enough people. I mean, you've got to get people together to actually push those people forward, and well, we call them lobbyists right now. But I mean, you're suggesting to treat these cabinet level positions like, I don't know, local representatives or something. And at the moment, our entire system isn't built that way.
No, it isn't. But again, we're in a place now where it's easier to do those kinds of things. And I think you give them a term, right? Just like you elect your state senator for 6 years, your rep for 2 years. Put something in the middle. Make it nice and easy. It's a 5-year term. That way it'll cut across a lot of the maybe multiple presidencies, multiple administrations. And you say, look,
that would be nice.
You elect this person, and they're serving for 5 years. And you elect that just like the Supreme Court. You don't have to have seniority in order to get it. You can just decide who you want to be that president. Maybe it does need to come back into that and say, listen, after these 5 board members are chosen for the brand new crypto regulation agency, private thing,
crypto
you
regulation.
then, right, you then, I don't know how to do it from there. You wouldn't want to have a second vote, but maybe the sitting president gets to decide, who gets to be the chairman.
Gensler's job does that, and I forget how the other ones are brought in. But I mean, I think Hester Pierce, for example, has been there for a while, and there's another guy who's been there for like 20 years. So I think everybody but the chairman stays. I don't know how they get put in.
They're appointed, I believe. They I don't know if they do it themselves or if... See, that's what I mean. I looked into a little bit, but I didn't go very deep on it. I'd rather not talk about it because I'm not an expert at it at this point. But I know they're appointed. I know that much. So I would hope, and we talked about this maybe 2 years ago on this show, and we had a really good conversation around, do we try and stuff this into the SEC and the CFTC, or do we scrap kind of all that stuff and come into 2024 and say, listen, we need, if there has to be regulation, if there's no other way around it, and there has to be somebody there, let's make something new. And let's generate and create the agency and the rules around that agency in 2024. And there should be a lot of public comment on that. And there should be a lot of public involvement in that. Because it's really obvious, there's a lot of people, not only in the world, but in the United States, that have this at the top of their priority list. They love crypto, especially the Bitcoin. And I do think that they would take a big interest in that, and people deserve to have their views represented well, because Congress isn't doing it, right? Coming up on November when it's election time, suddenly everybody's pro-crypto because they realize how powerful it is, because they want to get reelected, and then they'll ignore it for another term once they're reelected.
Maybe.
I think that needs to be pushed out of that. Let the legislation in House and Senate, let that be set and given guidelines, and then let this new regulatory agency take it from there. I
don't know.
I'm kind of with you. I don't think we can avoid it. I'd love to avoid it, but I don't think we will.
So That would be nice, but that's changing a system that's been put in place. What's kind of interesting is Trump himself, when he came in, he wanted what he ran on was to clear the swamp, to drain the swamp and stuff like that. And he basically just replaced a lot of people with other people. He didn't change the system, and it might have been because he couldn't. Like he he put somebody who was against climate change in charge of the EPA. Okay, well that changes what the EPA is going to do, but that doesn't get rid of the EPA. So changing how the SEC actually works, I think, is a whole lot harder. I think you actually have to get Congress to buy in, because every time they criticize Gary Gensler and they hold his, stomp his pee-pee, he comes back with, all you guys need to do is make a different law. Make a law and I will follow it. And that's it. That's the oversight. And somehow he's going to be, what are they going to do? They have to pass a law to kick him out of office. So I think, what's his name? Patrick McHenry or Emmer. No, I think it was Tom Emmer that passed that put a proposal to kick him out. Well, so Congress can do those things. And so in one sense, Gary Gensler's like, you at work demanding that your boss make an effing decision. It's like, okay, you're all complaining and stuff like that. Tell me to do this or tell me to do that. If you're not going to, I'm just going to sit here and stare at you, because that's what he's doing.
I don't think Congress should have that much power either, though, to totally decide all this kind of stuff.
Oh,
because
we have power divided up three ways in government. We have
No, I'm not talking high level like that stuff. I'm talking directly into crypto. So if Congress passes crypto legislation, you were just saying, Gensler was saying, hey, give me some legislation and I'll follow it. I'm not sure that that's the right thing to do either, because how do I want to phrase this? There's a bunch of people up there who are out of touch with real America. And I do believe that they would put an end to it just for the sake of not having to deal with it before they would actually take enough interest in trying to get it right. Does that make sense? Did I say that so it makes sense?
I guess so. Our system is made up of Congress can make a law, and then somebody can challenge the law, and the Supreme Court, decides. And, so a lot of the things the president does, every time the president gets into office, it seems that there's a Congress from the other side. And so the president just does as much things as they can to see what they can get away with. And then Congress can either pass a law to stop him, or if they can't, then they sue him. And then they get the Supreme Court to tell him what he can and can't do. So each part of government is going to go as far as they can and as fast as they can, and just dare people to stop them, to make them stop. That's what Gary Gensler is doing. He's come up. He has a certain vision, and I think that vision is highly informed by the banking committee and the old system. And I don't know why. Maybe it's President Biden has a lot of opinions on crypto, but I don't think he does. I don't think he really pays attention to that. And the same thing with Kamala Harris. She said she placed a single word in a speech last week or this week about we want to lead in AI and blockchain. She put the word blockchain in there, and then all of a sudden, everybody is like, "Oh, yay!" She said something about blockchain. She's all pro crypto. No, she ain't. Okay, she doesn't know what she is, because she's not paying attention to crypto. If anything, she might be paying attention to Ukraine. And now Trump, he's all about crypto, and he before last term he was against it. Bitcoin is based on thin air. He made a big point about that. Now he's doing crypto left and right. He's selling NFTs all over the place. Probably, I believe, even to make money. I think he's taking crypto donations. So he's crypto all the way. But when he gets in, I really don't think that they're going to get that far in crypto. because you have
It'll be on the back burner.
Well, you have an existing system that's there, so he can promote pro crypto people, but I think it's going to take a number of years, even with pro crypto people, to get things moving.
So the SEC also dropped another very interesting news tidbit this week. Today, as a matter of fact. They decided that they're going to go after a company, Mango Labs, for engaging unregistered broker activity in connection with various crypto assets being offered and sold as securities on the Mango market platform. The interesting thing, and why I'm talking about this, is because it's touching something very, very close to what we have had issues talking about before. Mango itself is a DAO. And so the Mango DAO is wrapped up in this as well. And this will, as far as I know, I haven't done extensive research, but I poked around a little bit. There was only one other case I could come up with where there was an actual DAO that was, I guess, wrapped up in these allegations. So that was interesting. And Blockworks is a part of that too. And I didn't know that. When I looked this stuff up, Blockworks is a pretty big agency, and they do, if it's the same one as it was poking up, they're like a news distributor as well. So that could be part of it too, is on that marketing side, maybe if they weren't doing things as well as they should have. What do you think do you think they would have any luck if let's assume the DAO's set up correctly? Do you think, from what you know so far, because we did a lot of research on DAOs, we did a couple of shows on DAOs, do you think that would be a big deal?
So I actually got interested for a while in Forged in Crypto's DAO that he was putting together, and we all met and talked about that, and that one kind of fell apart. Eventually, it kind of recombined and turned into the GG Collective. But the DAO itself, the whole concept of a DAO, you have an elected person who, well, you got to come up with your own rules, but the whole point is that that everybody owns it, that has the NFTs or something like that. You have an elected president kind of thing. The whole idea of a DAO is that, everybody's in charge. But no, you still need somebody in charge. You still need somebody to administrate and stuff like that. And those people are going to have an outsized influence. That's why you're electing people. So to me, a DAO is nothing really different than the current hierarchical structure we have. In fact, it's a very socialist way of seeing crypto, in my opinion. Okay.
So, oh, sorry, I thought you were done. My fault. Go ahead.
But the whole point is, there's an entity that regulators can go after. They can shut down the business. They can go after the individual officers of that business, just like they would any other business. So the DAO, in my opinion, isn't a setup that's going to be resistant against current ways of regulating.
DAO is a real nice concept of decentralization, and it's still, like Faz mentioned before, you still need a group of people a group of committee people that have to some sort do some management in the DAO. So in their basic concept, the DAOs, every DAO, it turns the subject of trying to be decentralized, but it's just a concept. Still, DAOs need people to be in charge and take decisions. The people in a DAO it's just people there to vote by a voting process. Pretty much, it's a nice concept, but it still is not decentralized. It's just It's just a nice, very nice concept
And
that
that's the thing.
people were putting out there in a couple years ago, maybe a year ago, that the DAO, and people would mention, oh, we're gonna create a DAO and DAO these, and there's gonna create a DAO out of this. It's a nice concept. That's it.
You can. So when I tried arguing, in the DAO stuff that we were talking about, when I tried to argue that, there's it's not decentralized, then the excuse was given, well, you could make it so that the DAO has a new person in charge every time or every year. You could just start going through all the holders and stuff like that. But if you're in charge, you're still in charge. And then it becomes, even if you don't even pay this person, it becomes less about money and more about power. And that's, again, getting back to socialism. Whoever's in charge can choose the direction the DAO wants to go. Now, does this person in charge, will they stand to benefit? I mean, will they have to get rid of all their NFTs that the DAO might be managing or whatever? Are they going to have to completely remove themselves from benefiting from everything? So then what happens, DAOs also have ways to make rules. How do you make rules in a DAO? Okay, if you have a vote, who's in charge of those votes? Well, the current person in charge or the current people in charge. So then the next question is, who can propose the things to vote on? Well, all the members can. Great. How do you know that all the members are going to see all the votes all the time? What if there's silly votes that the members want to bring up? After a while, you're going to have a lot of people disengage. Once you have people disengaged, then the people that are engaged will be in charge. So you can't decentralize a DAO, even though that isn't that what the D in DAO means, is decentralized?
Decentralized autonomous organization.
So no, it's not decentralized in my opinion. The only way for it to be decentralized is if there were no one in charge. If you came up with maybe a smart contract that made it so anybody can propose a vote, and then the votes were automatically done, and then somebody was empowered by the votes to actually execute what happens, but even then things would be centralized on the somebody who's empowered to make those things happen. What if the vote was to make another coin that the DAO would manage? Somebody's got to make that coin. You got to pay people. What if your DAO has employees? Who's going to hold the treasury? Who's going to manage the treasury? So it's I don't know if you can actually have a decentralized organization.
So here's my concern with that. This is the second time he's poking at the back end of a DAO. If that gets pierced, my fear is that sets enough precedent for Gensler to go after the Bitcoin Foundation. Because the Bitcoin Foundation is very, very similar to the Bitcoin Foundation and a DAO. It's a group of people that have to vote in order to push anything to the network. I wouldn't say they're in charge of Bitcoin, but they're guided by the proposals that are brought up. It's kind of like a DAO. And if Gensler can get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins, maybe the end game here is that they're looking to go after the Bitcoin Foundation.
So the thing about Bitcoin is Bitcoin doesn't need the foundation to work. You go after the Bitcoin Foundation, then its features pretty much just stay stagnant. Now, the reason that Bitcoin can't be shut down is fine. Go ahead, destroy the Bitcoin Foundation. Fred Flintstone and his 4 friends will then start modifying the blockchain on their own, and they'll put out a fork. So it's the miners that vote, and they vote with their feet. If they just walk over and start supporting Fred Flintstone's fork, now you got to go after Fred Flintstone. Fine. You take out Fred Flintstone. Now Barney Rubble and his 6 friends make a fork. So the whole point of it being decentralized is it's whack-a-mole. You cannot, every time you destroy one head, another one will grow back up. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is functioning, it's working, and it's being useful right now.
Oh, I understand that part, but it's still very, very crucial that foundation remain intact for the future of Bitcoin.
Oh no,
because
no, it's not.
I
It really
do.
isn't. That's not.
I think it is.
So again, the entire purpose that Satoshi Nakamoto put, the reason he wanted it like that, with miners voting with their feet, is so that you can't take out an organization. You take out the Bitcoin people, it's still going to work. It's not going to. Anybody can develop for Bitcoin.
No, I understand that part, but there still has to be a gate on what gets pushed.
Nope. No.
To that Bitcoin.
We're talking about a concept of how you're putting features out. When you say somebody's pushing out something to that Bitcoin code itself is a fork. Bitcoin is forked like 10 times, I think, since it first came out. Each fork could have been done by a different person. And the miners are the ones that decide which fork to use. So I could put out a fix for Bitcoin right now. And as long as it's not and if it is a hard fork, the miners would be the ones that would take my feature. And then Bitcoin would become, it would have my feature after all the miners voted with their feet. It doesn't always have to be the Bitcoin Foundation. So I'm trying to make that clear that there's no one in charge of Bitcoin.
No, I understand that. Yes. What else do we got for tonight?
Well, I hadn't gotten anywhere with the SEC stuff. We got 31 minutes out of just mentioning that. I have a number of notes here about it.
Oh, okay.
However, at a certain point, you have been threatening to buy a Zipbug shirt on Amazon because we have them there. But
yeah, I'm not getting the Amazon ones now.
Why not?
Because you said there's that other one that you're working on for the.
I said there's
one it's called.
I said I'm going through Uber Prints right now.
There we go. Yeah,
I'm comparing it to Amazon. The difference between Uber Prints is I have to mail them. I have to do each order myself and mail them off. I like the quality of Uber Prints. However, this shirt was made on Amazon. It's fine. The shirts are fine themselves.
That one is pretty cool. That one.
Now, if you want to talk down FazRadio shirts to where nobody wants them, this is the way to do it.
No, and that's why I stopped, because I don't want to put it that way. But you said you were looking for another provider, so I wanted to wait and see.
Nope,
if
not looking
if
for
that
another
one
provider.
Was going to be awesome.
What's nice about Amazon is the Amazon FazRadio shirts are printed on demand, and if 5 or 5,000 people ordered shirts in one day, Amazon would be able to handle it all. Uber Prints would have to go through me. I'd have to get your name and address myself, and you'd have to pay me. And yeah, shirts are higher quality. They have ink that seems to be set in to the shirt, but they cost more too. So that's worth mentioning. The FazRadio shirts on Amazon, they're as little as $15.
And how many designs we have already out there?
Well, maybe we should go to Amazon and look. Maybe Titan could share his screen at some point when he buys one. Anyway, I will
when we get to that point. Is there a hoodie up there yet?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a hoodie.
Is there?
The only thing I could say about the hoodie is I bought one and they run a little small. I bought an XL and the XL seemed a bit small.
Is that the same I have? The same one?
No, you have the Uber Prints one that I did as a sample. So you're an OG. You got the OG logo. You and a couple other people got the OG logo. We don't make FazRadio shirts with the old logo anymore. So Titan's kind of SOL if he wants an original OG FazRadio shirt, which is going to be worth thousands of dollars in the future.
I've got the original artwork. I can send it off and make it myself. So I got a really, I've got a really funny story.
Counterfeit. It'll be a counterfeit.
I'm gonna put a number on the sleeve so it's number 1, and then that way it will. So listen. So I used to listen to Peter McCormick, who did a Bitcoin show for years. He recently closed his show, and he's focused now. He does like a variety kind of show. He just changed it. He's not Bitcoin exclusive anymore. And he had bought a soccer team in his hometown of Bedford in England. And so I was all excited. And so I ordered one of his sweatshirts. And it's really cool. I've worn it on the show before. It has his logo, which is a big skull and crossbones, right? So I ordered this thing, and at the time I was probably 20 pounds heavier than I am now. So I'm like, oh, I better get like a 2XL. A 2XL on the rest of planet Earth is like a medium because this thing fit me skin tight. And I was like, wow, if that's what they consider a 2X in England, Americans are in really, really, really big trouble.
Yeah, actually. So it's kind of funny you mentioned that. I had almost that exact same thing. My partner went to Greece a few months ago, and she bought me a shirt from there. And she was told by the shop that which she went to in Greece that they run a little small, so she got me a 2XL. And then I put it on. I couldn't even button the thing. And so I just had to give it to my son. I'm like, okay, this will work for about a year till you outgrow it. And I'm like, aren't Greek men like big? I mean, they're not tiny people. So anyway, that's what I noticed about that. Right. If we're off the rails, if you want to buy a shirt, go ahead. But I have some other things.
Well,
I can say.
I think just to put it out there, probably this is too soon, maybe or not. But I probably can send over some nice FazRadio shirt to our guests in the show before. So I think I can do that.
So you can actually go to Amazon. We could make a special shirt. There's a couple things. One is this community thing, which I'd like to talk about, and two, we could make a special shirt just for guests, put it on Amazon, and then we just add them as just a shipping address, and then you just buy one or two and then send it to their shipping address.
That's a pretty good idea.
What's nice about Amazon is it has the whole thing there. You don't. I'm not getting any of your information. It's Amazon has all your information. I don't need to worry about a credit card or anything. Amazon has all that stuff. It's just you get a shirt with FazRadio design.
I think I'm gonna send one to Eduardo.
I think so.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that fast. So if you see that in there in Amazon, it's for Eduardo.
Okay.
Okay.
So this looks like Free came up with a good idea. This is Free. He says, how about a community contest to design a Faz or Zipbug t-shirt? Prize is Zipbug for top 3 designs. Well, here's a Zipbug shirt. I like the idea of that. I'm not sure what the prize would be. Maybe the prize could be a free shirt. But free Zipbug.
It says, Zipbug is what he's suggesting.
Easily.
Pick one of the high quality, expensive Zipbugs, and do it, man. Do it.
Let's do a Zipbug.
Make it happen.
Let's do a Zipbug of the day here. I'll show one I think that's not even posted. Let's see. Where's that at? This one I thought was really cool. How do I share my screen here? Present, share screen. And what's the window named? Image 174. There it is. Wow. I thought this one's really cool. It looks like an ornament. So the zip bugs, it's kind of funny. So the zip bugs can morph to any shape that they want. Generally, I like to give them eyes and antenna. Now, if you see this one, if there's other zip bugs that look just like this, except that they don't have this design, but they look a lot like this. So I kind of go out, I kind of color outside the lines sometimes, but this is still based off of one of my original drawings. It's just that AI takes it in directions that would just be so time consuming for me to do. I tend to bias the pictures and then have the AI go nuts with that. So that's something I need to post soon. Anyway, can I talk about the rest of the SEC stuff?
Sorry. Yeah, we did go a little off the rails. We got to get back on track.
That's right. Turns out that the Patrick McHenry is the chief of this SEC Oversight Committee. He's going after the SEC as a rogue agency. And apparently Maxine Waters is starting to come around. She's the top Democrat on one of those committees. I think she's on that committee. She's actually becoming for stablecoins, it seems. I'll say it seems because I don't know what the Biden administration version of a stablecoin looks like. And they think that they should even pass a stablecoin bill before the end of the year. So to me, that would mean if you're holding a stable coin, you can keep holding it, or certain stable coins. You'll want certain ones, the ones that they approve of, and you can, hold it in your own wallet outside of a bank. Unless, of course, their legislation is you have to hold it with like Coinbase or something, which would really be stupid at that point.
Coinbase, they've been on topics on this show for the last probably 2-3 months on a fairly regular basis, and none of the news is ever good. Does anybody even use Coinbase anymore?
I do. Do
you?
Coinbase has been around for a long time. At one time, a long time ago, they only sold Bitcoin. You need somebody to be able to sell coins that the general public can just get to. I know you're used to working with these, swap sites and all these non-company related ways of getting coins, but I still use Coinbase to this day to buy certain coins. It's just easy. Yeah, there's a bit of a fee, but I mean, if you make a big purchase, yeah, a bit.
God, it's ridiculous.
It's
like $12 a trade.
It is your easy, or people maybe throws more in Coinbase. What do you think about that?
So I don't make a lot of trades. I'm not a big day trader. I just make targeted trades. I just buy stuff. I use Robinhood also. Robinhood, you don't even get to custody the stuff. I know I'm saying some really sacrilegious things right now.
You're not a real degen.
Coinbase has a purpose. Robinhood has a purpose. And, custodying your own coins have a purpose. And I'm custodying most of my own coins, but I do keep some on exchanges for trading. Now, I think people are correct when they say you shouldn't put any money on exchanges, or any crypto on exchanges. And I'd say put any crypto you have on exchanges, just be prepared to lose it. But they have value, they have purpose, and it's a big, rich ecosystem, I think, out there. There's plenty of room for Coinbase.
Yeah, they're just really expensive, and the allegations are pretty strong that they were doing a lot of paper trading there, which is not what you're supposed to be doing either.
Well, allegations aren't actual. I've said this with other subjects that people tend to poo-poo me on, but allegations are not the actual thing. Now, the very fact that Coinbase hasn't come out and said, "Hey, we don't do that," well, that's probably a confirmation that they do it.
They were my second exchange. When you talked me into crypto, I did the research. I had Gemini first. I got Coinbase second, and then Kraken. Those were the three that I used to get started. And now I only use Gemini when I need to take money out. So yeah. I'll sell my crypto there and use that to bridge over to fiat. Other than that, I mean, once in a blue moon, I did Coinbase not too long ago, and they charged me like $12 to trade from a token into USDC, and then charged me money to get the money out on top of it. I said, screw that. I'll change everything into ETH and send it to Gemini. They don't charge me a dime.
Gemini doesn't charge you for trades?
No, it's, well, 93 cents, but I'm saying I'll exchange it. It's better than $12. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
That's more expensive than gas on ETH.
Then do it that way.
It's crazy. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I do. And then I send it to something Gemini has, and then it's real easy. 93 cents for a trade, and then it's free ACH. And you can pay like, I think it's fairly reasonable if you need the money right away. A wire is like $25, and it's there within an hour. I had to do that once.
I've only done a wire once with Gemini, and that was to set up my account because they insisted that you do it that way. But after that, I've just connected it to my bank.
Well, yeah, same thing. I wired out once because I forgot to make my withdrawal in time, and I had already paid for something, and I needed the money like super fast. I was like, shit, I forgot to bring the money out of the Gemini.
Okay, so the next point here. So about the SEC, Hester Pierce is one of the SEC members, and she seems to work with Congress just fine because Gary Gensler, they'll ask him a question and he'll be like, he gives no answers whatsoever. And then they'll just go look at Hester and they'll be like, okay, can you answer this question? And she's like, yeah, we're totally fucking people over, man. We totally screw things up. We use imprecise terms. We don't make things clear. And they're like, well, why do you think that you guys don't make things clear? And she's dead honest. She's like, we don't make things clear because we want to keep our options open. She's saying things like that. We want to keep our options open. We want people to feel like that they need to kind of come and work with us in order to get things figured out. Well, the problem is I believe 99 to 100% of the people that have worked with the SEC, and they brought it up in this hearing, it's what they call like a roach, like Hotel California. You can check in, but you can't check out. I mean, you start working with the SEC, and you're not going to finish working with them. They're just.
Oh, you will. You'll finish in court.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was another thing. Coinbase is like, okay, we'll work with the SEC, and they go to work with the SEC, and then while they're working with them, the SEC is like, okay, we're taking you to court. It's like, wait, what? I thought the whole point was to go to the SEC and tell us what to do. Oh, now you're not even going to do that? Okay, you're just going to sue us anyway? So the SEC just gets enough information on you from this whole discovery process so it can make for a better court case. Well, fuck that. Everybody's just like, okay, I'm not going to deal with the SEC anymore. I'm just going to do it and then wait for them to sue me. I'll make more money that way.
Think Tank, you are absolutely right. He does look like Mr. Burns. I'll agree with you 100%.
And so Hester Pierce had actually said, she admitted that the term crypto asset security should have been retracted earlier because it gives people this belief that all crypto assets are securities. The SEC, that's what gets me, is they constantly contradict themselves nowadays, and there's no recourse for that. They can just contradict themselves. It's okay. And while so that means they can sue you, contradict themselves in the lawsuit, and you still get run into the ground because it costs you money to pay for court costs and stuff. They just run you into the ground. They could say anything. They could just say your hair's on fire or something, and you could point to the fact that you don't have any hair, like me, and it doesn't matter. It's they're still going to sue you into oblivion, and then the judge will agree with you at the end, and then you'll be right, but you'll be out of business.
Did you see that? I don't know if it was a rumor or if it was actually true, but they were floating around Mark Cuban's name as an SEC person. He got into it with the SEC about 20 years ago, and it didn't end well. And he was supposedly like a nemesis for the SEC ever since.
Well, same with Elon Musk. That's the thing. It's kind of funny because the SEC thought that they could pick on Ripple. And Ripple just happened to have the money to fight them off for as long as they wanted to fight them. And so it's like, oops, And so now you have Ripple and Elon Musk and hopefully Mark Cuban too, who will push back at the SEC and drain their coffers. Okay, if the government is just going to be an asshat, okay, everybody's just going to be asshat to the government.
Mark Cuban got rugged like 2 or 3 times in crypto, and it was big headlines. Yeah, he had bought into a couple of different projects that rugged on him. So there's a lot of very, very influential people that have gotten themselves in trouble with the SEC. We did a show on that.
Yes,
it was
like Kim Kardashian.
It was probably towards the beginning of the year or late last year. There was a whole bunch of celebrities that got caught up in that.
Because the SEC went after celebrities, because instead of going after cryptos, they went after the celebrities themselves because they were the ones kind of promoting certain cryptos or certain exchanges. I think Matt Damon was promoting like this amorphous crypto business stuff, or maybe FTX, I don't know. And so they went after the celebrities first.
Yeah, the Kim Kardashian were there as well in that list.
And so to them, they're more afraid about the advertisement being out there than you actually doing it. The SEC was also skewered on, hey, didn't you guys approve Coinbase's stock offering, their IPO? And they're like, yeah. And it's like, okay, well, why would you have approved them if they have a whole bunch of securities on there? And, Gary Gensler's like, well, I can't speak to any one. He's like, no, you said that there are securities on their platform. Why would you even allow that to continue if they had securities, period?
Well, Gensler's such an idiot. He flip-flops on ETH on the regular as well. For a while, he was being very, very pushy on, well, I'm pretty sure it would be a security. And then other times he's like, no, it's not even close to a security. So he keeps flip-flopping back and forth. And I wonder how much of that is politics and how much of that is just to get his name in the news so that he's known as like Mr. Crypto or something. I don't even know anymore.
Any rich person is gonna do something to get their name in the news. It's part of what makes their brand. That's why you hear.
You think Gensler's rich?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Mark Cuban. Sorry, I got mixed up there.
Oh,
his net worth is about $150 million, something like that.
Get out of here.
Gary Gensler actually has, he has a fair amount of money.
150 millions, yeah.
Holy cow. Wow.
Yeah.
That surprises me. You would think that would almost disqualify somebody for that kind of a position, no?
He's super rich.
They're all rich. Everybody up in that general vicinity of Washington is loaded.
So
what's that Octavia Cortez or whatever her name is, that AOC. She was a bartender making minimum wage. She couldn't afford her first DC apartment, and now she's worth like $93 million suddenly.
Oh, really?
Who's that one?
I'm curious now.
AOC.
What is AOC
Alexandria
worth? Ocasio-Cortez.
Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's see. What's her net worth? 45. In 2021, she was worth $45,000, including her 401k. Let's see. Say 2024. I wouldn't think that she's a millionaire.
She's got a load of money. She does.
No, she's not rich. Apparently has $60,000 at most.
No, I just saw an article on that.
Then you're going to have to produce the article. I'm not putting stuff up that's saying no. I'm looking at factcheck.org saying no. She's reported having $60,000 at most in bank accounts and other savings, and as much as $50,000 in student loan debt in her 2023 financial disclosure report. So she's not a millionaire. What I was going to say is when you are a millionaire, you know a lot of people. And at one point, I'm working on a Zipbug's book right now. And if I were rich, one, I'd have more time to spend on this book. And two, I know a lot of people and I could get published. And if I can get published, then I can get a lot of money. And if I get more money, then I can know a lot more people. And then one of these days, I could work my way up to being P. Diddy's friend. And then you know where it goes. It goes a pear shape from there.
That was bad. That was bad.
I gotta find that article. It said
I have a feeling that P. Diddy ain't going to be rich for long. I had to turn some lights on in here. It's getting dark. Anyway, so now I'm done with my stuff. You could buy a Zipbug shirt or something if you want to. We need to show these people that you believe in our brand. See, I wear stuff. I bet. Are you wearing one? No, you're wearing the gamer shirt. Okay, well.
Still, it says FazRadio behind.
Okay, well, that's good. So I like the Zipbug shirt. This is like, you know how you have a little logo here, on the shirt, like the iZod logo. Well, this is the Zipbug logo. And I have some that say FazRadio right here. And then I have this really cool shirt with FazRadio on the front. I have a couple of Zipbug shirts too. You got to look up FazRadio on Amazon.
So I did find what I was reading, and it's from USA Today. And it says people were reporting that her campaign dollars were part of that. So it says the only way you get to tens of millions of dollars for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez anywhere is if you're looking at the campaign funds instead of personal net worth, which would be stupid and considered misinformation. The claim appears to have originated in a website that wrongly attributed more than $29 million to her net worth. That magazine never reported her actual net worth, spokesperson Laura Bruscia told USA Today for this article. So, I wasn't crazy. I did see the article.
Well, see,
but apparently they were counting campaign funds, which they shouldn't have done.
Now, this is what's funny is because rich people also have the ability or will value things of theirs. Like Trump is famous for valuing his hotels a lot more than they are, and his properties for more than what they are. And you're not going to know until you sell them. So you can claim, especially if you have a big property, you can claim a value. If you don't have an assessor assess it, then you could just say, well, if I sold it, it'd be worth, that's how much I'd sell it for. Funny enough, that seems to work for people when they try to figure out how much money he has. And who knows how much money he actually has, or if he's in debt. He once bragged that he was billions of dollars in debt. So we don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, so I wouldn't say it's irresponsible for that, because in reality, there probably is a way for them to access those millions to make it into their personal lives. But at the same time, yeah, I guess you kind of got to do separate campaign, because that's like a separate business, I think, right? Don't you have to file that as like a separate business?
Something like that.
I think you do.
Campaign, yeah. And you can't spend campaign funds on your own things because, well, actually politicians do that all the time. They're successful in various ways. Okay. We're getting close to an hour here. And we have, let's see what we got here. We have the FazRadio logo shirt on the front. I'm probably going to redo these because one of these has a logo on the back too. Kind of like a bowling shirt. Nope, there's no back on that one. I think it's the first one. Is there a back on this one? Yeah. This one has FazRadio on the back and then a logo on the front. It was $25.99. By the way, I'm making like $4 on these things, so it's not like they're making a lot of money. The whole purpose is to get things out there so people can have a shirt or a hoodie. And we even have a different color here. See, look at that. They give you a whole lot of colors. I just chose these two because they look cool. I mean, I didn't really want pink, but I guess if you really wanted one, I could acquire one for you.
Pink. I don't want no pink.
Some people might want a pink FazRadio shirt. So here's the FazRadio one with the bug on it.
I want to send that one to Eduardo.
This one right here?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got asphalt gray, slate gray.
I think the original.
I think silver gray is a little bit bright.
Yeah, but I think to give people away, I think I'm gonna go black for that one.
Gotta go black. Black is the best way.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
And Fortune Crypto seems to like this one a lot. I haven't gotten rid of it yet. Nobody's bought any. Fortune Crypto didn't buy it, but so that one's out there. This is a font we decided not to use, but I thought it was kind of neat. Now that we have redone it, we have a very specific font, a very specific logo style. And long sleeve shirts, I did get this because I wanted a long sleeve shirt because I like long sleeve shirts. And I don't want to wear a short sleeve shirt in the wintertime because that's coming.
Hey, Titan.
What's that?
No V-necks, right?
No V-necks. I tried. They do not look good on V-necks. Amazon makes V-neck shirts. They look like ass, dude.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so you can pick. In fact, I will. Let's see. How do we do this? I don't know if there's a referral or how this works.
Apparently, based on Faz, nobody's used that anymore. V-necks.
Let's see. Paste.
I searched for FazRadio on Amazon and I'm not seeing it.
I know it's really weird. So I'll have to put it in the comments here. See if that works for you.
Faz. It's a bunch of ballerinas under Faz.
You have a pretty good amount of different designs there already.
Well, I'm planning to do more, actually. Amazon really limits you on designs. If you start selling a bunch, then they give you more designs, like up to like as many as you want. I think they're only giving me like 25 designs, and these are the ones I have right now. So if people really start buying these, I promise I'll make more designs.
Control copy. And
let's see. As far as numbers of how much of these I've sold, I think I've sold 6, and 3 of them were me.
Oh, there they are. Look
this
at
one,
that.
this one in the hoodie. I haven't bought a long sleeve yet.
Yeah.
You updated this a little bit since the last time I was here.
Well, we updated the logo. I had them all with the old logo before.
I think we have to reach out to Eduardo and as far.
Let's see.
That's what we got to do. So that's how we get people on the show. Is we buy T-shirts for every. You need to get his size, but we buy T-shirts for each person that's on the show. I like that. Maybe we should have a show-specific shirt.
Well, if you create that sign and we get away to I don't know.
What?
Didn't take your credit card?
No, it's saying choose your delivery option, and it's Saturday, October 5th. What happened to on demand?
Is that for all of them? Let's see.
No, it's for the hoodie. Hang on.
Okay. Go log in actually to find out.
Oh, I see what they're doing. They're getting busy. They're offering the digital. Yeah, they're offering the digital rewards if you push it off. They're trying to push it off for there. I refreshed the page and went back into my cart, and now it allows it for Sunday, September 29th or Saturday, October 5th.
Let's see. So if I were to say free delivery Wednesday, October 2nd for Prime members. What's the date today? The 27th. Yeah, I can get it October 2nd. But I got to order within 4 hours.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Good.
I've got it, but all my personal information is all over this thing, even on the confirmation.
It doesn't tell me the personal information. It's just like, hey, you sold one.
No, I'm saying I can't share my screen because my credit card information was on the other one, and this one
Oh, well.
has my shipping address and my name and all that fun stuff.
Well, let's see.
So what I can't hear, this is what I can do. Where's my screen? Snippy. I can do that, right?
Screen snippies.
Now,
Yeah, the color palette needs work.
go-
Also, no one's wearing black when it's 100 degrees out. Got to get some white ones. So I did make, where's that image? Okay, I made a black and white logo. And let me find it because it was in Discord. Because I made a shirt. I got a shirt. It's upstairs.
Okay.
And I
there's
sent
my
a
stuff
picture
on
to
there.
Titan.
Save as.
We talk a lot in our own little private channel.
What are you laughing at, Zorro?
The comments.
How's that Faz beard if combined with Titan's beard, Zorro's beard? Look at the gray. So most people have like gray on like the outside of their chin. Mine's like right here, like I was like dribbling food or something. So that kind of sucks. And Titan doesn't grow his beard enough to for us to tell.
I'm gonna see how long I can tolerate it this time.
This is a special one.
Well, my partner's telling me she really likes the beard, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. And she's like, no, don't cut it. My kids are like, no, don't cut it. I'm like, oh, dang it. Okay, fine.
All right, there we go.
I think I might
My hoodie is estimated to be here on Sunday.
Okay, just for, oh, here it is. Found it. Can I want to share my screen, I think.
All right, let me shut this off. There it goes.
I was going to put the shirt on. I still might do that. Okay, so share the snipping tool, present, share screen, snipping tool.
Well, also think Tank while he's pulling that up. How many of you noticed that there's two people in this cast that have matching backgrounds to their studio, and somebody decided not to play along?
Okay, fine. I'm doing the bricks.
Oh,
We're doing
he's
the
gonna
bricks.
put the
We
bricks.
got the bricks. You got bricks. Zorro's got bricks. I suggested the bricks earlier. Zorro said no, but now that you bring it up, we're doing the bricks. Screw you guys. Okay. So anyway, FazRadio shirt right there. This is our black and white logo. It is not yet for sale. Actually, I got this from Uber Prints, which
That's a
an
cool
example.
one. I like
cool
that
one.
one. Yeah.
I can go put
is.
it on right now if you want.
No, that's fine.
I can't. I don't like white shirts. I live in black everything.
Well,
I can't stand white shirts.
So with this black and white logo, we can have a red shirt or a yellow shirt or something like that. It doesn't have to be white.
Yeah. That would be cool in another color. And plus I'm sloppy, so I stain all the shirts like crazy too.
See, Free, are you gonna buy one, Free? If you like it so much, is that it? I'm pulling it too much. I removed the color.
His name is Free for a reason.
I see. So anyway, I have some logos that I've made. I came up with this whole like set of logo designs to where I can change any of the colors. You know, the FazRadio logo right now is like this yellow spiral underneath the microphone. We can make the spiral like green or red depending upon like what shows we're doing. Change those kind of things. I like the black and white one. I think it looks cool. I'm gonna go put it on. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I'll be right back.
You have to do it.
Oh my goodness. So to keep the masses occupied, I had one more thing I wanted to bring up that's SEC sort of, but not quite. Again, it's always the really crappy news. They do this on purpose. They release it on Friday because everybody else is distracted because they're looking forward to their weekend and family and all that stuff, and they don't pay attention to the news. It came out today that a judge ruled that tornado cash is not protected under the First Amendment. So they've been pushing real hard on tornado cash, right? Because all it does, it's a mixer. For those who don't know what tornado cash is, it's a mixer, meaning if I wanted to hide where my crypto was going, you put it into this mixer, and what happens is you have like a temporary wallet at Tornado Cash, and you send your tokens there, and only you can access it. And then your tokens get put into a pool for a few days, and everybody else who's participating in this has all of their tokens in there. And over time, it slowly releases tokens back out to that temporary address. And when it sends it out of Tornado Cash, it changes the address again. So it gives a different send address. So it's essentially crypto laundering for your tokens. So if you wanted to send it to a wallet that can't be traced or they can't dox it, and there's been a big over like the last 18 months push to get rid of Tornado Cash entirely. They haven't been able to do it yet, but the latest big push that the people made against it was they said, hey, this violates our First Amendment rights. And the judge just came down and said, no, nice try. It'll go to a jury trial though. And they're suing basically the co-founder of Tornado Cash. His name is Roman Sevenov. And they were charged with 3 federal counts: conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to commit sanctions violations, and conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business.
Wow.
So unfortunately, they did lose round 1. So we'll see how that goes. But that was just released, according to this, it says 4 hours ago.
What's going to be a short now?
Tornado. I was talking about Tornado Cash. The government's suing Tornado Cash to try and close them down. The people, the co-founders and such, and the co-founder and the legal team tried to push back on, hey, this violates the First Amendment, and they said, yeah, not so much. Nice try. And the last bit of news, and then I'll shush up and Faz can jump on to his next topic here. I saw this last week, and I made one little blurb comment about it, and then we ended up moving on. And I just saw a second article on this, so that tells me it's pretty important. And I posted in Discord this week. So we were talking about countries that own Bitcoin or crypto in general. And the Kingdom of Bhutan is on chain, and is the government itself, the kingdom itself, is mining Bitcoin for itself. And the article here is Bhutan, a Buddhist kingdom, has been deep in crypto for years, and apparently it's paying off. Bhutan is currently generating anywhere from 55 to 75 Bitcoin every week from its mining operations. They utilize popular mining pools, including Antpool, Brains, and Foundry, according to on-chain data specialist Arkham Intelligence, which is very good. If you haven't been to Arkham, go to Arkham. I was sent that direction by one of the FazRadio Discord people, and let me tell you, I absolutely love that. They give you visuals. It's fantastic. But Bhutan had a holding company named Druck Holdings that they formed in 2007 that manages investments for the kingdom, and decided Bitcoin would be good for the long-term benefit of the people of Bhutan. Its portfolio also includes manufacturing, constructions, banks, and airlines. Druck identified and confirmed via on-chain data that shows it's been active in the crypto space since at least February 2021, when the first Bitcoin was brought to the public wallet. Around $1,770 worth of Bitcoin was mined and put into that deposit. So that's kind of cool. So there's an actual government, and I've heard of Bhutan. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard that name before. That's cool that a government is actually doing mining.
Well, don't forget about Costa Rica. Is it Costa Rica or is it the other one? It's another small.
No, it's El Salvador.
El Salvador. There you go. Yeah. Don't forget about El Salvador. So that's 2, at least.
Right. Well, I'm saying that's not one of the ones we know about here, because I saw that hit my radar about a little over a week ago, and I was like, no way. I didn't think they were into that, but that drew up
75 a day. That's
no,
a
week. 55 to 75 a week through Antminer, Brains, and Foundry.
That's still a lot.
It is. They're a government. They're a kingdom, right? It's a crown place. So they have tons and tons of money that they can put into mining, and they can guide whatever energy they need. I got a I have plants everywhere in this room, and it's that time of year where those little stupid bugs come out of the dirt in the plant and are all over the place. In here.
Figured you were smelling your own farts or something.
No, I hate this time of year for that. They're like little gnats, and they drive me absolutely crazy.
Fruit flies.
Yeah, I guess you could call them fruit flies.
All right. So Mr. Zorro likes to remind me when we've gone over the time, and you like to tell me when it takes too long because you tend to edit these things.
I will not be editing the lives, only the shows, which if you want to drop a hint, you can. I posted the link of the finished cast in our private channel over there, so you guys can review it before I finish putting the final touches on it for public
Here's
release.
Zorro. Put your hand up like this. Put your arm up and start putting your hand in this direction. I'll make your hand appear in my screen. What the hell are you doing with the alien?
Oh, sorry.
All right. So yes, this is the shirt that I wanted to show you guys. Uber
That does look sharp.
Amazon actually and Uber Prints makes a fitted shirt. This one's kind of large. It looks a little large. I feel like the logo is just a little bit too far down. I feel like it should be up a little, but I don't know. It's no.
Oh my God! Look at him. He's an old man officially. He tucks in his shirts.
I always have tucked in my shirts.
Do you have?
I think you're going to do this short for him.
Okay, so if you don't tuck in the shirts, then it looks like this. Okay,
I'll bet you he's wearing sandals with black socks too.
Bare feet, sir.
No.
It's a FazRadio first. My feet have now been.
I can't believe he did that. Oh my God.
He used to wear.
No.
He used to wear a hat. He had one. What are those hats called? It's like the ones they wear in Scotland. What kind of hat? Or Ireland?
Flat caps.
Flat caps. He used to wear a flat cap on every single episode, and all of a sudden it disappeared. He just stopped wearing it.
Let me explain why. So I don't do well with light, okay? And at my old house, I had a light directly above me. And so I put on the cap to deal with the light. Now I don't have a light directly above me. It's like way behind me. And then I have a smaller one that I could put here, but it's kind of washing me out.
I'm going to send you one of these.
A Zorro cap?
It was...
Yeah,
Mr.
I want to get
Zorro.
Okay, what I want to get for a FazRadio hat, and I made the logo just for this, is so that it can be embroidered.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Kind of like the New York Yankees embroidered hats and stuff. I want to get an embroidered logo that way.
We need some Zorro gear too.
Well, it's got to be partly FazRadio branded. We need to make a FazRadio Zorro hat.
So what you do is you put like the Faz, the Titan, and the Zorro on the front like that with our own unique design. And then right above that hole in the back, you put the FazRadio circle logo.
So that
Those
costs
are-
money. Those are, you can't do those as much on like Amazon and and Uber prints and stuff. That's more custom. I had shown you guys some samples where you could have the FazRadio logo and then like your names on them. You guys didn't like them.
No, I didn't like that, but there's got to be a way for each of us to have our own gear with the FazRadio branding.
And then people
on
can
it.
vote by the gear. You know you'd win. Everybody likes Titan for president.
Not many people like Titan.
You're the president, but I'm the Faz. That's what
that was like 2 years ago. And I think that person was probably drunk that night because I would be a terrible president.
Anyway, so this is our black and white logo. I made like a gray logo too. So we'll have more of these out if people want them. If Free actually buys one, maybe I'll make more.
The Faz logo on top and the name like Zorro Faz. Yeah, so Think Tank said, have the name on the bill or something. Faz came up with a couple of ideas, and
see if I can find it.
It just didn't strike me as looking good. It looked lopsided. It wasn't visually pleasant to look at for me. And I have hats. Oh my God, my wife will tell you I have probably 60 baseball hats, and they're piled everywhere. And most of them have like the string hanging off the front because I've worn them till like the bill just falls apart. And I have hats that are so old, there's actual cardboard on the bill. It's not plastic like they are today. It's real cardboard in there.
Real cardboard, not the crappy cardboard. This is real good stuff. Okay, let me share my snipping tool here, and then you'll see some hats that they turned down. If you guys like them, then you can, I don't know, maybe we can do something about that. So I just threw those together.
It's nothing against Faz. To me, as a ball cap aficionado, I don't find those visually appealing. It's just not, there's something not right about it.
Well,
now just that one, the one at the top there, just the logo. I told you I like that one. The other ones with the words, I'm sorry, I don't like them.
I'm a bit off center. Okay, so
it gives me anxiety just looking at that. I'm very OCD about things.
Put your name on the bill. If there's places that would print the name on the bill, that would be awesome. I like this one. I like this one the best.
Really?
Anyway.
Now, if you centered the words FazRadio and then put the logo right above that centered,
I made one.
That I could do.
Okay, I have
and
another one.
the FazRadio has to be a little smaller in font. I would find that visually appealing.
Iron on the names. That's an idea. That's a lot of work. We need to be printed up. Oh, here we go. This is what you wanted. I made more.
What do you do all day?
Me?
Do you just make hats? Is that all you do?
Somebody have a lot of free time.
Zorro and I are over here working our fingers to the bone, and he's fucking around with hats.
This is like a month ago when I had a job.
Look at my hat. Meanwhile, our wrist is about to fall off from the mouse work.
So you like this one right here?
Yes. That I do like, but it has to be a little higher.
Yeah, I think it
has to be higher.
And this one is like, that's not center.
No, because there's 5 letters in radio and only 3 in Faz.
I know.
That's why everything will always look off center, because it's 3 letters and then 5 letters.
What if I added 2 more Z's on Faz? Or F-F-F-A-Z. How's that? Faz! Okay, so yeah, I can see raising the logo on this one a little bit. That would be nice. That'd be easy.
Just change it to FazCo for Faz Company. FazCo.
FazCo. Maybe.
It's like Hasbro.
FazCo, which we'd have like
Star Wars
Faz
action
Radio,
figures, Hasbro, Fazco.
Faz TV, Faz Toys. Oh yeah, all sorts
Faz
of Faz
toys.
stuff.
I don't want to know about Faz toys after you splooged your Faz at the beginning of the
After
show.
I Fazed all over the place. Look, I Fazed on my shirt.
It's gonna come.
Faz
Your
all
Faz
over my
toy is gonna arrive in a plain brown paper wrapper.
Okay, so you want a brown hat, so you'll look like a turd. Okay. All right, so that's all I got. We done here?
I think so. We've been yipping forever.
All right, now watch this. As soon as I click on this, what do you call it? The animation, the bye-bye animation. Zorro is out of here. He is gone. Like the moment I do the animation, he's gone. So he's dancing right now, but he'll just drop. All right. So see you guys later.